Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been so long. I have made it a 2025 goal of mine to really up my YouTube and get back on it. It is the hardest platform for me to stay consistent on. So this is my first video of 2025. I'm so excited. I am just gonna get ready with you. My hair is drying. We're going to church later. So I was gonna quickly kind of do my makeup, talk with y'all, and just kind of get ready for the evening. And this will just be kind of like a little fun long form catch-up video, so let's get into it. I am 29 weeks pregnant. I'll be 30 weeks this next week, which is crazy. I'm about to start my bi-weekly appointments, which I feel like I was just doing that with braids, so that's exciting. I am in a new house. I think in my last video I was at my old house, which is crazy. We bought our very first house in October, or I guess September, moved in October. So we are in this house now. It is so nice. We adjusted so quickly. I was a little nervous just being pregnant. Going into a house around the holidays is like, oh my God, I just want to feel at home. And I did, so that was nice. That has been such a blessing. Even, you know, a year ago, we weren't sure how we were gonna make that happen, but life really can just throw so many new crazy things, and I'm just so grateful. This will be the place we bring our new baby to. So I am due in March, and gosh, no like real pregnancy updates. We have decided to not find out the gender of this baby, which honestly has been so fun. I was a little nervous initially because I don't know, I think most people kind of psych you out whenever you tell people about it. And I had so many people tell me like, oh, there's no way like you're gonna cave, which honestly, I'm a Capricorn, I'm stubborn. That makes me want to do it 10 times more. So we have not caved. We got through all of our scans, so we are good to go. My intuition is telling me boy, but I keep calling baby sister and like girlfriend and stuff like that, so I don't know. It'll be such a fun surprise. I'm very excited. I have recently gotten a few questions about my birth and if I'll share my birth story, which I for sure will. I had quite the big baby first time around. So Briggs was 10 pounds on the dot. He was 2 weeks late, so I had him at 41 and 6, but still big baby either way. And with him, I could tell he was a big baby. I gained so much weight too. I think I'm still gonna have a big baby. I just don't know if we're gonna hit 10 pounds again, which either way, it'll be fine. For having a big baby, the hardest part was pushing, and he was also sunny side up. So I think him being big made it hard, but his position also made it hard because sunny side up babies tend to be a little bit harder to get out. I hired a doula this time, which I'm very, very excited about. Brayden was so amazing last time, but I just wish we had an extra set of hands, an extra mind, an extra voice. I'm gonna be giving birth in the hospital, so that'll be good to have. Fully plan on sharing my birth story, probably initially on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me. In just like a short form. I will take, you know, the necessary time to absorb and take in my birth, because last time did not go how I envisioned or planned. So I assume it'll be similar, but overall, last time was a good experience, so I'm thinking this time will be too, but you never know. Birth is in God's hands, honestly. So far, this pregnancy has been pretty kind to me. Baby has been sweet. Nothing like too crazy. I had a easier pregnancy with Briggs, but in the grand scheme of things, and like compared to some friends and people I know, my pregnancy has been very mild, very easy. So I'm so grateful. My mom was the same way, and with Briggs, my pregnancy, birth, all the things leaned towards my mom's experiences, which I'm very grateful for. She had big babies though. we're compromising. Easy pregnancy, harder delivery. I don't know, we'll see. The only difference, I did not experience any sickness with Briggs at all. A little bit of nausea, but barely. This time I have gotten sick several times. Very weird times though, like not straight morning sickness, like car sickness, after eating something like that just baby didn't like, just like really random bouts of puking. And then being in the car, like in the passenger seat too long will make me nauseous. If I'm driving, I feel fine. And usually if I get like a sparkling water or soda to drink while I'm sitting passenger, also helps. It's just so weird. Every pregnancy is so different. I'm very excited for this next season of life though. I have officially taken the leap to pursue content creating and social media full-time, which has been a dream of mine literally for so long. I have posted on social media probably since like 2018, 2019, and about a little over a year ago, I decided to really post every single day and be like, okay, if you're gonna give this a shot, you've got to give it a shot. And I did, and it has been so cool to see the growth. It's just wild. I also re-gave my life to Christ this year, and I just have all this to owe to him. I think that is such a big part of why I was able to stick and commit to social media. I have always dealt with anxiety, depression, OCD, just like overthinking in general, and I am so persistently giving that all to him and just trusting his plan. And I know he's putting it on my heart and calling me to this for a reason, and so I am choosing to continue to see it through, and it has been so cool to see the growth over the last year. I'm very excited to be pursuing that. I'm obviously gonna take like a regular maternity leave and like pull back from social media come March, April, depending on when baby comes, but it has been so fun to pursue that. So I am excited to see what 2025 has to hold. It's wild. Oh, my husband is here. I've been with my husband for almost a decade, and it's so funny. I still get so shy in front of him when it comes to creating. It's also been so much fun fully stepping into content creation during this time of my life, because my first pregnancy mentally was just so rough because I gained a lot of weight. It was my first time going through pregnancy. As somebody with anxiety, you know how it goes. Like if you're a first time mom, you probably know. And I just did not enjoy pregnancy how I wanted to. And I'm just so grateful that I'm fully taking it in. I give 2 fucks about how much weight I gained during this pregnancy. I am dressing how I want, sharing all the inspo with the girlies on my pages, and just taking it day by day. I'm trying to enjoy this pregnancy as much as I can. Getting down to the nitty-gritty though is stressful because we have not decorated the nursery, and that is kind of stressing me out. But as a second-time mom, you realize how little you actually need. Like I need diapers and clothes. So if we don't have a super cute nursery by the time my super cute baby is here, I'm not gonna trip about it, but it would be nice to get done because otherwise it might be like 6 months postpartum before we get to it. We'll see. But doing this as gender neutral, that part's hard. The clothes I feel like is easy, but the room, I don't think I can fully decorate until they get here. Because if it's a girl, I'm gonna want to add like girly little touches. If it's a boy, I'll probably want to add something. I don't know. Kind of hopping around back to birth. I recently put up a little question box and somebody asked if I had birth preferences, and I do. I am trying to be more lax this time around because I think I was too set on my birth plan last time, so when it didn't go according to plan, that part was a little traumatic in the moment. So I do have birth preferences. These are just mine. It's what I want. First and biggest thing is I would like to go into labor naturally. I have midwives, so I'm allowed to go to 42 weeks. but that is the cutoff. Last time I got induced at 41 and 4. I wish I would have just waited the last few days just to see. So this time I will. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But that is my biggest wish, is to be able to go into labor naturally and labor at home. Induction in the hospital was rough. I labored for over 30 hours last time. I would like to try again to not get an epidural, but we're gonna go with the flow. That was the hardest part last time, was really not wanting an epidural, but just being at my wit's end and needing to rest. I just was not expecting to get to that point, and that's okay. This time, if I get to that point, it's fine. But I do want to have as physiological of a birth as possible. I want to be able to feel everything and like get that reflux of like pushing and all the things. And with an epidural, you don't feel a lot, which is a benefit of in and of itself, but not what I personally want. So labor naturally, no epidural, less than 2 days at the hospital. That is like one of my biggest goals. That was the most traumatic part of birth last time, was we were at the hospital for so long because I had a big baby. They did so many more tests than was necessary, and one of the hardest parts was breastfeeding, and then him having higher, I think it's blood sugar levels is what leads to jaundice. I could be totally wrong, but he had high jaundice levels. But in comparison, like the comparison was to a regular sized baby. He was not. And it was just very traumatic. We ended up being in the hospital for almost 5 days, just from the start of induction to leaving. I hated it. I hated it. As far as birth preferences, those are like my big three. Healthy baby, healthy mom, that too. One thing I am going to be a little bit more particular about is my postpartum, because I was doing too much postpartum last time. Like, I was so stressed out having so many people come to visit us, and I love family, but we are going to be spreading that out. My mom is going to hire a cleaner for us. That'll be life-changing. I struggle with OCD, and my OCD tendencies are your cliche cleaning, and I was cleaning like so quickly when we got home, because when people are at my house I get stressed. So that'll be a big thing, is just like really trying to relax, adjust to this newborn life with a toddler, and just limiting people if I need it. If I feel good, people can come over. We'll just like play it by ear. Between breastfeeding and people being around, and then like healing, I had an episiotomy last time. Like, there's just so many things that go into that. So definitely take your time, especially if you're a new mom. Like, don't be afraid to tell people no or boss people around. Like, if they're gonna come over, have them help you with something. Okay, that is enough birth talk. I could talk about birth for hours, but I am so excited to get this YouTube back up and running. I've been doing so much like fashion content on my other channel, so let me know if that's something I should do here as well, or if like these long talk vlogs are fun too. I love watching shit like this, so that's what I like to record also. We're also going, I think I mentioned we're going to church tonight, which is why I'm getting ready. I want to film a little bit before we go, but I stepped back into my relationship with God this year. I grew up very religious, but I had a lot of family shit happen in high school and after high school, and honestly, one of the people that like everything like in my family that everything went down with was the reason why we went to church growing up, and for me that was just really confusing because they're not a good person. I had to realize that the bad people in my life that claim to be religious, godly people, that's not God's issue. I don't know how to explain it, but I just had a lot of trauma around church, and I just had to learn to trust again. And I know now, like, I'm so grateful for the church we are at, but I also know that like my faith, my religion is not just going to church. It's outside of that and reading the Bible and doing devotionals and talking to God daily. So it's been really fun to just have a positive relationship with God, because I don't think I had that growing up. And that's okay. I would love to get more in depth about my experience and just like how I got kind of like walked back into my faith, but that would be another long video, so I will spare y'all an hour-long vlog today. Back when I got baptized again, I put up a little question box on my Instagram and just answered a few, but somebody asked like how I started, and honestly it all just started with praying and just talking to God in my own time, in my own space, and just kind of getting comfortable with that. And then that's just something that's never stopped, and I highly recommend it. Even if you feel hesitant, I felt hesitant too initially, but God wants to hear you. He's with you no matter what, so just talk to him. I highly recommend it. Random, but these Lumify eye drops are so good. They just like whiten your eyes like crazy. I have had the worst allergies because it's been 75 degrees this week in Texas, and then tomorrow the high is 30. So I have been using this Hemp's lip balm. It's so good. All right, you guys, I'm gonna do my mascara off camera because nobody wants to see that, but thank y'all for joining me back at YouTube 2025. We're gonna grow, we're gonna keep posting, so let me know what you want to see, and that is it. I'll talk to y'all later.